to Midvaal Raceway. Okay, now that the rowdy Superduke is gone, we've got about a minute to do this intro before he gets back and makes more noise. But welcome to Midvaal Raceway. This is going to be my first track day with the R6, my first track day with full leathers, and my first track day with boots. So I'm really excited, but despite all that, today is not going to be about getting my knee down or fast lap times. It's purely about getting better on my bike and getting to know it more. So obviously track days are a huge amount of fun, but the thing that I like about them most of all is that it's a great place to get to know your bike and to be more confident riding it. When you're at a racetrack, you don't have to worry about things like cars or traffic or pedestrians in the road. You know it's a safe place where there's other like-minded people to really push your bike to the limit. I have bought all my previous bikes here in the past, and every time I leave here I feel more confident on my bikes. And the next few days in traffic you feel more comfortable because you feel like you know where your bike's limits are. So let's head out for our first session on the R6. Okay, so first session out on an anti-clockwise circuit. The bike's cold, my tires are cold. Let's go and figure out how the track looks today. I think even at speeds like this you lean further in corners than you do on the road, just by having a wider surface and less traffic to focus on. It's still like instinct to look back over your shoulder to make sure there's no one there. It's really weird without mirrors, but by the end of the day you're so used to it. Puddle, and just like that my first lap is done. Now I'm going to interrupt your regular viewing schedule for a spin on this Superduke. You know, you just get used to your own bike and then you take somebody else's around. I am really not gonna push this bike hard on the track because despite all the videos you see of people absolutely slaying the racetrack on one of these, personally I don't think it feels that comfortable. Even though if you rode it a lot you would get used to it, and I think it would be an amazing track bike. That sound alone makes you want to do it, and you feel really high up. And avoid the puddle. It definitely has a speed wobble. The faster you go, the more the handlebars wobble, but if you don't grip them as tight, they don't wobble as much. I like that this gear indicator is like spot on. As you change it tells you. The R6's one is like always a gear behind basically. It doesn't actually feel as bad around here as I was expecting. Oh, that torque is insane. The way it powers out of corners, you have to be awake. It really is a beautiful day for the track though. These clouds are keeping it nice and cool, but luckily it's not raining. There's only one puddle on the track, and here comes a big bump. I feel like I'm going to be bouncing off the rev limiter any second now. Those brakes are good, you hardly have to touch them to get more braking power out of them than the R6. The traction control light was flashing when I came onto the main straight. This noise just makes you want to wring its neck out of every corner. You do not have to ride a bike hard on a racetrack to have fun with it. This thing is insanely fun around here. Oh, I love this bike. Listen to that. Okay, so I've been out for about 4 or 5 sessions now, and I'm finally starting to feel more comfortable on the R6. The first session out, I was too scared to even lean the bike over. I was expecting sand around every corner like it is on the road. Every time I came onto the main straight, I was looking over my shoulder to see if there was a car trying to merge. But now everything is settling down. I feel less like a passenger on my bike and more like I'm actually working it a little bit. Obviously, it can still go a hell of a lot faster than I can make it go, but I'm starting to really enjoy it and I feel more confident on it. And we're off again. I made the GP shifting video a while back and I didn't even know we were going to the racetrack when I decided to make that. But my bike is still in GP shift and this is the ideal place to test it, to be honest. And in case you're wondering, I've only stuffed up once on my gear changes and ended up in neutral on the main straight. But that's no big deal. Today I have absolutely fallen in love with this R6. I can see why people rave about it being a track bike. I thought it would be above me, but I've absolutely loved it. And now it says I need petrol. How do you go through an entire tank of petrol at the racetrack? I haven't even done that many Ks and now I'm out of petrol. The shut-off is quite a bit more harsh after riding the Superduke, but I love this riding position a lot more where you're leant over, and the high tail is much nicer. The Gixxer, when I was here last time, I never really got comfortable with it. With this, I have actually got comfortable with, and I'm really enjoying it. And at least if the GoPro falls off here, I'm just going to come back around and fetch it. It's not like it's going to be on the highway. I let a bit of air out of my tires at the end of the last session and I have to say it feels a little bit better, like there's a bigger contact area. But anyway, that was my track day at Midvaal. It is by no means the best track in the world or even the best track around here, but it is a great one to get comfortable on because as you saw, all the bumps, all the potholes, it really pushes you to your limits. So hopefully sometime in the future we can go to one of the better tracks around like Red Star. But for now, this was really fun. And overall, I really do believe that it was a hugely productive day, even though we were having fun while we were doing it. Throughout the day, I managed to drop 7 seconds on my lap time. And to me, that is a lot of time, and it shows how much more comfortable I got on the R6. Another thing I was hugely happy with today was that I was finally able to get to the edge of my tire. I just recently got new tires, and on the road there's no way I can get even close to the edge because I'm just too scared and don't trust the road surface or the tires. So that was a really good thing to do, and now the tires feel much better on the road. But I have to say that I'm hugely envious of you guys that get to do frequent track days because they are just so much fun. Every time you do one, all you want to do from now on is more and more and more track days, and you fall in love with your bike. But for the guys that have never tried this or are intimidated by the track, you definitely need to give it a try because it'll change your riding experience forever. I just had the best dream ever. We were all alone at a racetrack. The R6 was there, the Superduke was there. Really makes me want to go ride. Guess it's back to bed.